What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to another edition of MVP Games Live right here on either twitch.tv/MVP vids or you're watching on MVP Entertainment on YouTube. I am joined, as I always am, with my beautiful co-host, Soapy Muffin.
Hey.
Soapy, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Work was boring, and just haven't really done anything all day, but it's kind of one of those days that you just don't want to do anything.
Also, I have a new announcement, by the way. I
Oh.
forgot to tell you. The canteen is back. I have not been using my canteen in a while, my Batman canteen. So if you hear a little jingle jangle today, that is why. Dave is not going to be happy on Sports Live because he absolutely hates my canteen. But I hope that since work was boring and you said you've had kind of a okay day, I hope Games Live brings it up a little bit. That this is not a boring show for you, Soaps. Except I know one story that Soaps is like, do we have to talk about it, even though it's not that bad this time around. But we got a jam-packed show talking about a new gaming company being formed. The Game Awards gets its own date. A ton of stuff in Shorty But A Goodie. And then some Bethesda Xbox updates. Before we get into everything, though, let's go through a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, join the Discord if you have not already. Great place for all the real MVPs to get together and talk about the things they love, movies, TV, games, everything in one place. Link down below in the description or ! Discord is where you go and get that. You can also support us. Patreon.com/MVP vids, bronze, silver, gold, or platinum tiers. Thank you also to our Patreon sponsors, Pat Hill and Philly Sean. You can also throw us a sub on Twitch and get the same rewards as a bronze tier member on Patreon. So 2 ways to support us if you want to throw us a buck or two. And then last but not least, I said at the top of the show, but I'll say it again. We're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVP vids, but we're also on YouTube at MVP Entertainment. So go ahead, like, sub, and follow us at both places to stay in tune with everything going on in the MVP nation. But Soapy, let's start off the show. Let's get right into it. Today's a show where I'm not expecting it to be a long show. This is a lot of topics that we're not going to have a 30-minute topic today, but we got some good stuff, some good updates going on. The first one's kind of some interesting, okay, let's see what comes from this news, as Polygon has an article that says ex-Blizzard vets, including former CEO Mike Mordheim, start new game company. Here's what the article says. A group of ex-Blizzard employees, including the former CEO of Blizzard Entertainment, Mike Mordheim, have started a new game development company under the name Dreamhaven. Joining Mordheim at the startup are Blizzard veterans Jason Chise, Hearthstone, Dustin Brower, StarCraft 2, Ben Thompson, Hearthstone, Chris Sagati, StarCraft 2, Heroes of the Storm, Alan Debyri, Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, and Eric Dodds, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, among others. Dreamhaven currently comprises 2 studios, Moonshot Games and Secret Door. Here's a description of the studio from Dreamhaven's new release. Moonshot is led by Jason Chise, Justin Brower, and Ben Thompson. Chase was previously an executive producer at Blizzard Entertainment, where he led the Hearthstone team, a senior director at EA, and before that, the lead art teams for the Walt Disney Company's game division. Brower's 25-year career includes roles at game director at StarCraft 2, Heroes of the Storm, Command & Conquer, and The Lord of the Rings. Thompson's credits include creative director on Hearthstone, art director for the World of Warcraft trading card game, with additional credits on Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering. Moonshot is also home to a team of seasoned developers who've collectively worked on some of gaming's most popular franchises. Secret Door is led by Chris Sagati, Alan Debyri, and Eric Dodds, who've worked on multiple genre-defining games. Sagati Zagalti's role have included executive producer on Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, and Heroes of the Storm, as well as lead producer on the original Warcraft 3. Dodds was the original game director of Hearthstone and veteran game designer of World of Warcraft and StarCraft. Debris has filled both technical director and game director roles and has worked on Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, and Heroes of the Storm. They are joined by a team of highly talented developers with executive industry experience and are beginning to explore new game experiences together. Then the article just ends with Dreamhaven is its first two studios did not announce specific projects. According to the company's website, it aims to reimagine the studio model by empowering studios to establish independent identities, voices, and cultures and take change that most big publishers won't and many smaller studios aren't always able to do. Soapy, what are your thoughts on this? And is this just going to be one of those, hey, these are guys that made great games before, like, these were the guys that were at Blizzard before the Blizzard Activision kind of merge. Is this going to be something where we can expect similar games to the ones that they've worked on together? Heroes of the Storm, Warcraft, StarCraft. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm not exactly sure what type of games they'll make.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also because it's one of those things where, like, I don't think you want to try to step on Blizzard's toes that much.
Yeah.
And especially because it's like with StarCraft, I'll honestly say, like, StarCraft caught lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll say that now. Like, a lot of, like, RTS games like StarCraft don't feel as good,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the things where I think they try to go with their own identity because they don't want to just be labeled as, like, Blizzard 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they try to go in their own direction. I'm not exactly sure where that direction is, but I think them trying to carve out their own identity is something I think they really need to focus on. And not just kind of be like, hey guys, we worked at Blizzard at one point. Look, we made StarCraft 2, but by StarCraft 2, I mean we mean some other thing. That's the exact same thing as StarCraft.
Yeah. And like that's the fear I have of it, where it's like whenever you get these new studios that are like, hey, we used to work at X big company and then now we work for our own company, it becomes one of those things where, yeah, like, what is their plan? And of course, like the article says, they don't have any specific projects planned out yet, but if they, let's say they want to do an RTS, let's say they want to do an MMORPG, like World of Warcraft was, which I would not tackle, because as we've talked about before, it's like MMOs is a hard genre to get people invested in your characters, it seems, because for an MMO, you're setting up a big world. So it's like, how do we get people invested in these characters? For Warcraft, it was easier because we had already seen these characters and were invested in them from Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. Throughout all that lore, it was easy to get into Warcraft, where I kind of think the same thing falls in here too, where it's like if they want to do, let's say, an RTS, it's like, okay, well, it's very similar to StarCraft, it's very similar to Warcraft, but I have no connection to these characters. And I'm not saying they can't get us to care about these characters that they're going to make, these voices that they're talking about, but it's one of those things where you don't want to make the same game that you made at Blizzard. Just the only difference is it's not StarCraft or it's not Warcraft.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of where, like, a lot of indie companies should start at.
Mm-hmm.
Because my whole thing is, with indie companies, it's you kind of have to carve out your own niche in a genre.
Yeah.
So I personally think, for me, I would completely move away from the games they've made, which obviously sounds weird that, like,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of move away from your own wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The only thing is, though, with RTSs, like, those are pretty, like, set in stone of, like, StarCraft, Total War,
Mm-hmm.
Warcraft when they actually when people like the game and don't hate the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And games like that, like those are set in stone as like these are the RTSs to play, and then every once in a while another one will come out that people will play. MMOs, obviously, like we've talked about before, is really hard to get player bases into
Yeah.
because MMOs take such a massive grind. Like, holy hell, is it hard to get people to invest in your world and to want to play your game?
Even
if you throw,
I will say, I'll jump in just to interject this into what you're saying, is even the genre we haven't mentioned, Heroes of the Storm, which is a MOBA, and it's like even that genre is kind of, what's the word I want to say? Kind of not convoluted, but like you've already got League, you've already got Smite, you've already got established games like Heroes of the Storm, Smite, and League to where, oh, we're going to make a MOBA. Oh, but now we got to compete with every other MOBA that's out there.
Yeah, and especially because it's within the company as well, you have to ride trends, which it sounds bad to say. Because, like, for instance, I will say this. If they rode trends, I'd be fine with it. I hate it when companies like Hi-Rez do it. Yeah, but also even that, I really don't. I want them to kind of wait for the next trend to come. Because, God forbid, I don't want another fucking Battle Royale.
Well, the perfect Battle Royale for them would have been the one that was already out now. Like, Spellbreak. Would have been a great, like, that kind of version of a Battle Royale, and everything I'm reading about Spellbreak, I really want to try it, because they're saying that, like, every review I look at is like, is it perfect? No. But it puts a different spin on the Battle Royale genre that we haven't seen before. Like, the one review, I was watching IGN's review, and their reviewer said that it's weird, like, it takes a little bit to get used to that instead of ducking behind cover and looking down the sight of a gun, I'm hurling fireballs, or I'm kind of shooting lightning bolts at somebody, and not like going into that first person, like down the sight, but it's all third person using spells. So like for me, watching all those reviews for it, I'm like, holy shit, I kind of want to try it, even though I'm not a really big Battle Royale guy. And with Blizzard, it's just like, or with these guys coming from Blizzard, I don't know how they would tackle it. But at the same time, these are guys that all the games that they've worked on before, I mean, except for like the one where, I think it was Dustin Browder, where Command and Conquer and Lord of the Rings were in there. So like, maybe they do something different and they're like, hey, we're going to make like our own single player game. But like, I would assume that they would try to stick to their wheelhouses and what they're good at, instead of branch off into something that maybe they don't know a lot about.
Yeah, and my only question, and I don't know if the article actually says it, what Lord of the Rings games did that guy work on?
It just says Lord of the Rings. That's all it says. I'll look it up.
Okay. I was going to say, because depending on the Lord of the Rings game, if they can get access to that IP, and if it's the Lord of the Ring game that I think they may have worked on, which I'm trying to remember the game, it was like a class-based...
Battle for Middle-earth.
Oh, is that the strategy game?
So the games that come up for when you Google Dustin Browder are StarCraft 2, Command and Conquer's Generals, the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, another Command and Conquer game from 2000, Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, Command and Conquer Red Alert expansion. Yeah, so those are it. So StarCraft 2, Command and Conquer, and then the Battle for Middle-earth was the Lord of the Rings game that he worked on.
Okay. Well, dude, okay, fuck it, never mind, dude. That guy's like the ultimate god in RTS, dude. May as well just do fucking go all in.
Mm-hmm.
Find some unique setting for an RTS now. I know I said RTS is kind of like a hard genre, like to kind of plant your flag in. Dude, fuck it. If you got people from like the Juggernaut that used to run it with Command and Conquer, like, I don't want to make it sound like I do it.
But what could they do that's different? That's what I'm trying to think of. If they were going to do an RTS, we've already seen Warcraft that's fantasy. We've already seen the like Lord of the Rings, you're building off of an already established universe. With the thing I liked about StarCraft when I was a kid was it kind of built off of Warcraft, where it's like I got into Warcraft with Warcraft 1, just kind of dabbling around with it, because my dad used to play it a lot, Orcs and Humans. And the thing, first off, the one barrier when I was like a kid, because I was like 5 or 6 when that game came out, was back then, in order to start the game, you had to put the CD into the computer, and then you had to pull up the DOS menu and actually like type in like /start or whatever you did. Every time I went to play it, it would be one of those things where it's like, hey, Dad, can you start up the game for me? Because I didn't know what the fuck to do. By the time Warcraft 2 came around, I was really into that. I was playing the campaign for that. I would play so many custom matches for that. Later on, they came out with the BattleNet edition, where you could finally play online against people. And then, like, when StarCraft came out, I had already had that love for the RTS, that it was like, holy shit, it's RTS, but it's in space. And it's with aliens, and it's with these Marines that have, like, jetpacks and shit on it, and you're, like, on the moon and shit. To where it was like, oh my god, this is different. If they're going to go for an RTS, what do they go for that hasn't been done before?
I mean, you can go for fantasy, because we saw Total War break into fantasy.
Good point.
Because we saw when they did Total War Warhammer. Like, that took RTS by storm. Like, Total War, obviously, like I said earlier, was already a really established name in there. Because, for instance, there was Medieval Total War. There was Total War Shogun 2. The Total War Rome games.
Yeah.
Empire, Napoleon, and games like that. And everyone was kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting tired of history. They're, all right, cool. You're tired of history? Boom, Warhammer. And everyone's like, oh, shit, dude. Like, I think if they can try to find to find either their own niche for a fantasy setting they can make that's different enough. Because the whole thing that I was thinking is you can still fit into fantasy. It's just you have to make sure you're not like bumping shoulders with people. That's the only thing. Because it's like if you use a magic system, your magic system's going to be compared to what Total War Warhammer's is. Yeah. Even though Total War technically is more of a grand strategy campaign, but we're going to call it RTS because you kind of have to, because it does have real time. So I think you can find a niche in the market.
Looking at Steam, Total War Warhammer 2, they do have it listed under RTS.
Okay. I had to make sure, because I know a lot of, and like, there's the argument of like what counts as like grand strategy and what counts as RTS.
Yeah, the tags that it has under Steam are strategy, fantasy, turn-based strategy, RTS, grand strategy, war, multiplayer, games workshop, action, turn-based, single-player, dark fantasy, co-op, tactical, real-time tactical, atmospheric, story-rich, dinosaurs, great soundtrack, Warhammer 40K.
Why the fuck does it have Warhammer 40K? Total War Warhammer doesn't have 40K.
I don't know.
You know what, dude? Fuck it. These new guys should try to get the rights to fucking Warhammer 40K and make that as their RTS. Fuck it, dude. May as well.
I had a different one. So my question for you, Mr. Xbox guy, has there ever been a Halo RTS?
Yeah. Halo Wars.
Was that good? Was that actually good?
Yeah, I like them.
Okay. Because, like, my thought was one of the things of, like, do they go out and, like, do they contact a company like Microsoft that is like, hey, we would like to work on an RTS. We would like to see, hey, if you're, like, let's say they had an idea to, like, hey, we want to make an RTS Halo game. And we want to make it the best it can be. To where it would be, your name would be on it, like it would be Microsoft, because obviously they own Xbox, but it would be fully developed by Dreamhaven. And then Xbox and Microsoft wouldn't have to worry about like, hey, do our like studios have the resources for it? No, it'd be a completely developed Dreamhaven game. They would just have to get the rights of the Halo universe in order to make the game, kind of like how you mentioned with Warhammer 40K. Warhammer 40K would work too, because is there a Warhammer 40K RTS?
I think there is. I think it's called like Shadows of the Empire or something like that. Wait, fuck. I think Shadows of the Empire is a Star Wars fucking D&D module. Never mind, ignore that. I don't remember what it's called. It's either called like Gothic Armada or Shadows of the Empire or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Warhammer 40K RTS, Google Be My Friend, Dawn of War, Soulstone.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. See, Google's your friend. You want to know what year that came out? Did you have a guess?
That, I think, since that one's the newest, there was recently one that came out.
This is not recent.
If that one's not recent, then 2008.
You're right, 2008.
Let's go. Didn't even know that game existed, and I guessed the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Hey, we're talking RTS. They could basically be like, hey, we want to do a game like Hearthstone. We want to do a card-based game, because they did mention how the one guy he was the art designer for like Magic the Gathering. Bless you.
Thank you.
To where maybe they pull a curveball and they do a card game. Like Hearthstone was. But it's going to be interesting to see, at the least, what we see from Dreamhaven, the new studio, with Mike Mordheim, former CEO of Blizzard, and other ex-Blizzard vets. But, Soapy, let's move on. The next thing we're talking about, a little bit of Game Awards news. Jeff, I always fuck up his name. It's not Knightley. It's not Kingsley. Basically, Game Awards. Jeff from the Game Awards said that the date has been announced. It's going to be December 10th, and Polygon has all of the information. The Game Awards, Jeff's annual awards and game celebration event, will return on Thursday, December 10th. The 2020 version of this year's show will understandably differ from years past as a result of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. In 2020, the Game Awards will stream live from 3 locations: Los Angeles, the show's usual home, London, and Tokyo. There will be no in-person audience, but the annual award presentations, musical performances, and world premiere game announcements will return. Don't expect a virtual audience, on par with some professional sports leagues' attempts to inject fans in viewer reactions. Jeff says that the previous years, fans who co-stream the awards on platforms like Twitch and viewers on social media will offer that sense of excitement instead. This year's show will also introduce a new award, Innovation in Accessibility. According to the official announcement, the award will recognize software and/or hardware developers that are pushing the medium forward by adding features, technologies, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Jeff said in an interview with Polygon that the new award came about pretty organically. We've been thinking a lot about accessibility of our show, and I think we've seen a trend of developers focusing on accessibility with their games over the past couple of years, Jeff said. And Steven Spahn, COO and spokesperson for the Able Gamers Foundation, he won our Global Gaming Citizen, and he's become a friend. I'm obsessed with the idea of games being accessible to as many people as possible, so it grows the audience of people who play games. It felt like this year there's enough developers doing that, and we feel that we should recognize that effort and who's innovating how games are made more accessible. Game Awards 2020 will be streamed across 45 worldwide video platforms alongside the show. The Game Festival will return, offering fans limited-time playable demos on upcoming titles from major game studios and independent developers. Yes, the nominations were not put out yet. So if you go to their website, the website is completely redone, or it is changed, where you can't look at last year's results anymore. It now has like a preview background that has the new design that says, "We're completing the website, come again soon," or "come back soon." Soapy, what are your thoughts on the Game Awards and what we could see this year from it being A, virtual, but B, it looks like it's going to be from 3 locations, London, Tokyo, and LA?
I mean, that's a cool concept. Like, my whole worry is, are they going to try to make it more grandstanding than it has to be?
Okay.
That's my main worry. With going completely digital, which is fine. I'm A-okay with going digital.
Yeah.
My only problem is, like, okay, don't overshoot what you're trying to do. Because the whole thing is the Game Awards, I'm not here to watch, like, some super grandstanding thing. I just want to know what game won Game of the Year.
See,
Like,
I don't know. To me, it's more than that, though. It's, to me, that I'm going to add one more thing to what you said. I care about what games win what awards, but I also care about the game announcements, because it kind of feels like the Game Awards have kind of turned into what E3 and stuff used to be, where it's like usually it's like the September version of like E3, where it's like, hey, we got a game we want to announce. There's a big announcement. Let's do it at the Game Awards.
yeah, and I can see that. It's just, for me, like, the only reason I don't want it to be, like, super grandstanding or anything is because, like, yes, like, there are going to be announcements and everything. It's just, for me, I'm like, okay, you don't have to overcomplicate things. Because unless if, like, the stuff from, like, Japan and London and even America along with that is, like, pre-recorded or something, like, you run the chance of the connection between America and Japan could be really shitty that day.
Good point.
To where, like, it ruins the experience. So where that's why I'm kind of like, okay, you really got to be careful with everything, because I mean, we've all experienced, like, when people's internet is shitty and you're trying to talk to them over, like, Zoom or something, and, like, their voice gets muffled. At that point, that's when it's just like, okay, dude, stop. Just don't even keep trying.
Kind of like me when the internet was like, hey, Ricky, your camera's gonna freeze. Oh, you gotta start. You gotta disconnect and then reconnect to your Discord.
Yeah. There's that, and it's also, like, just hearing people talk on the phone. Obviously, I know they're not talking, like, into, like, a phone speaker. They're, like, hooked up to a microphone. But even at that, there's still the chance that the internet's bad. There's still a chance that, like, something is wrong, like, technology-wise for it.
Yeah.
Of where you're splitting your team into 3 different spots where, like, your team's not at 100%. Unless they just have a super huge fucking tech team. But, I mean, it's just, that's my only worry. I can't wait for the Game Awards, because I kind of want to know what counts as Game of the Year.
I mean,
because I kind of want to know if Fallen Order does. I don't think it does, though. But at the same time, I have no idea.
2 things. First off, when the nominations are announced, Soapy, we are going to basically, when they're announced, we basically have 2 shows picked out then, where the day they're announced, we're going to react to them. We're going to react to all the nominations and kind of talk about that for a full show. And then as we get closer to the Game Awards, probably the week before the show, you and I will make our, like, these are our predictions of who's going to win what awards at the Game Awards. I would say, with your question, and I know we've talked about it before, that I do think Jedi Fallen Order is going to qualify for Game of the Year, because it wasn't Game of the Year. It wasn't even on the list last year. And I think it came out too late to be on that nomination list. So, I mean, I think it should be nominated. Great game. But like you said, they could say, nope, fuck it. That was a 2019 game. It just came out at a bad time for the Game Awards. Just as a look, too, last year, these were the games that were announced during the show. So the Wikipedia article says, games and updates announced this year included, they had Gears Tactics, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Ghost of Tsushima, Humankind, No More Heroes 3, Control, Warframe, Magic the Gathering Arena, Cyberpunk 2077, Apex Legends, Black Desert Online, New World, that was actually the first time we saw a New World trailer, and Beat Saber. Valve was also planning to showcase Half-Life Alyx at the ceremony, but pulled out several hours prior to the event. Newly revealed games included Beverly Default 2, Convergence, the League of Legends story, Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, Fast and Furious Crossroads. I remember that because the next weekend on the Rick and Johnny podcast, we talked about how potatoey that Fast and the Furious game looked. We saw Godfall that day, Magic Legends, let's see, Prologue, Ruined Kings, let's see, any other ones? Wolf Among Us 2. So, like, with me, it's like, yes, it's important to see what gets announced or what wins awards. It's what gets announced that gets me the most, to where it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what we get and what games, because even going in, there's always even the predictions of, like, oh, the rumors are this, we could get this game announced or this one announced. And the interesting thing about this year is we've got, like a month before the Game Awards this year, you have the next gen consoles coming out. So I'm going to throw this prediction, this pre-prediction out at you. And I want to get what you think about it. So at the PlayStation 5 showcase to end the show, we had watched God of War. And they showed the God of War logo. It said Ragnarok is coming. Afterwards, the God of War team tweeted out things like, we've been working on something. Do you think it's too soon that we got that? PlayStation drops November of 2020. We're expecting the game to come out. It's coming out in 2021. We're expecting like a March, April release, because that's usually when the God of War game comes out. Do we see, boom, the first God of War Ragnarok trailer at the Game Awards?
Maybe, but it's also because the whole thing is, like, right now we're just speculating on what the release date is. So it's one of those things where,
it's
like,
2021. We know that. So we know it's not going to be like 2 years down the line.
Yeah, but just the only reason why, like, I'm kind of reluctant to say, like, oh yeah, that's when we're getting a trailer, is because we don't know, like, when the production actually started or how far into production they are. Like, obviously they made a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Which means, like, hey, we're just getting the word out there so that it's not like, oh, just constant leaks of, like, oh, nope, it's been leaked, they're working on it.
Yeah.
To where, like, they want to announce it themselves. And then it's also with that, I honestly think you have to be real careful when you announce games. And it's because, like, obviously with God of War's an exception. Because that franchise, you can announce that game fucking 2 years ahead of time and people will still be hyped for it.
Yeah.
But, like, you need to kind of be careful with announcing it, because how much steam is that going to be able to keep? Like, how much is it going to be able to stay? And also, just, are they going to have something in the trailer that is interesting enough? And that's kind of my thought process of, like, I don't think we get 2 trailers, like, within a 3-month span of each other.
Yeah.
So I think we could see something, but I think they just wait until next year.
The other one I have is this, before we move on to Shorty But A Goodie, is, do we see, let's say, take that prediction, but instead of God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, another game. Yet again, I'm thinking PlayStation because that's my mind. I'm a PlayStation guy. Horizon Forbidden West, we saw at the PlayStation, not a showcase, what did they call it? State of Play, earlier in the year. I think like right after you and I, it was either right after you and I started Games Live or right before we started Games Live, where we saw Horizon Forbidden West for the first time. We know it's coming out in 2021. Basically, my point is, are we going to see a game for either Xbox or PlayStation that is that next gen that we know is coming, that it's like, boom, here's a release date, it's coming Q1 of 2021?
I think Forbidden West could be that one, and it's just because we saw that trailer a lot earlier than we saw God of War's.
Good point.
Because especially, like, I'm not going to lie, if you didn't remind me of that, I would have completely forgot Forbidden West was coming out.
Yeah, because we saw it at that State of Play, and it was like, poof, we've never seen it. Like, no one talked about it after that.
Yeah, and that's something where that's why I think they're gonna do it there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I wouldn't be surprised if that's the one that does. Obviously, like once again, I'm trying to remember where they moved the Halo Infinite
Let me see.
release date back to. We may see like another gameplay thing for that.
Would that
That's
that
more
wouldn't be
polished now.
that wouldn't be too soon, right? Because the last time we saw that was literally right before we started games live.
Well, I mean, if Forbidden West, we saw the stuff around that time too.
Good point. Good point.
Like I think that'd
Lawyered.
be yeah. Like I think it'd be like I'd probably say that's like the minimum. But even then, it's also because you kind of gotta get that hype back up
Mm-hmm.
because since it was going to be a launch title and obviously it's not anymore, you really gotta try to get that to people to be like, hey man, just remember, you buy this console, this game's gonna come out next year.
Yeah. For Halo Infinite, we do not have an exact month or day. We just know it's 2021.
Yeah, so I'd probably expect like March or something like that. Like I don't think they push it back an absolute crap ton. Sorry if you hear like a weird like banging, it's my head keeps hitting the wall.
You're good. It could also be like the same thing, like you said, with Horizon Forbidden West, where it's just like, even if it's coming out in March, we could still see more about it. Maybe that's when they give us the new release day for Halo Infinite. But it's going to be fun to see. It's also going to fun to see the new award, because the accessibility award is a good one for them to add. But Soapy, let's move on. Shorty But A Goodie. We got 4 good shorties for you guys today. Number 1, Metal Gear Solid Remake, coming as a PlayStation 5 exclusive. This is a rumor, and Screen Rant has you covered. They say the PlayStation 5 is less than 2 months away from release, and one of the exclusive games that is now rumored to be in development for the next-gen console is a full-blown remake of Metal Gear Solid, the classic PS1 game from Konami by Death Stranding producer Hideo Kojima, is considered by many as one of the greatest video games of all time and spawned several sequels, including 2015's critically acclaimed Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Soapy, my question for you is this. If this is true, will this be in the same vein of a remake as we saw with Final Fantasy VII? And when I say that is, could this be something where they're not just remaking Metal Gear Solid 1. They're remaking it and then bringing it into the new generation, where it's like, hey, now that we've got the, like, for example, Final Fantasy VII, hey, back then, we didn't have the capabilities we have now. So instead of turn-based combat, you're actually, like, moving Cloud around and can actually, like, swing the sword, and you're actually in combat with things. Could we expect something like that with this remake, if it is true? Are they going to not just remake it, but like I said, bring it into the 5th generation of PlayStation?
Oh yeah, like I could definitely see that. I think it's going to play more like the Phantom Pain more than it did the original.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I really hope they bring over the humor from Phantom Pain,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if you've ever played the Phantom Pain.
I have not.
Man.
Like, Metal Gear Solid was a series that I tried when I was younger. Couldn't really, like, for me, it was one of those where I hit a wall difficulty-wise and then never went back in.
Yeah. The main reason I'm saying I hope they bring the comedy back from the Phantom Pain is because if you play on the easiest difficulty, they force you to wear a chicken hat to basically say you're a big baby.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah, it's
it.
or I think it's if you die a certain amount of times, like they'll sit there and like the game will basically make fun of you.
I love it,
And
but
it's
I
just like,
don't
man.
love it.
I mean, dude, I love it.
The reason why I don't love it is I could see me dying a lot of times and then, like, being made fun of while I'm upset that I'm not, like, being good at the game. It might trigger me, but at the same time, I love it because it's like, you're bad at the game, kind of a thing. But no, I am excited for this only because, like, now that I'm older, I love replaying games that as a kid gave me trouble, because it's like, I'm smarter now. I can get through some of these things and play different games that I might have been too young, too naive, too whatever adjective you want to use to stick with it and get through it. Soapy, the next thing, you're going to like this, I think, because to me, If this is true, yet again, have not tested it myself, as I do not have Fortnite and can't get Fortnite on my iPhone. If this is true, complete power move by Apple, and I absolutely love it. So the headline from Polygon reads this: updating to iOS 14 could delete Fortnite from your phone, Epic warns. Last week, Epic released the latest version of its mobile operating system called iOS 14. But while many iOS 14 users are enjoying customizing their home screens with widgets, players who have digitally kept Fortnite installed on their phones may end up accidentally deleting the game if they update. According to a tweet from the Fortnite status Twitter account, which keeps players up to date on the technical side of the game, upgrading to the new Apple operating system could result in Fortnite being deleted from your phone. The iOS upgrade will reportedly ask some users if they'd like to temporarily remove apps to install the software update. And if you select yes, Fortnite is likely to be deleted. Here's what the tweet said: Fortnite iOS players updating to iOS 14 may lose access to Fortnite. If the message temporarily remove apps to install the software updates is accepted, it may result in Fortnite being deleted. Fortnite cannot later be reinstalled due to Apple preventing users from doing so. Soapy, if this is true, absolute power move by Apple, and I love it. Absolute, like, oh, you want all these good things from our new operating system? Well, you know what? You can't get your Fortnite if you want that. Is it a dick move? Yeah, but is it a power move? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I don't know if that was like a super intentional one. Mm-hmm. Because the whole thing is, whenever you upgrade to any iOS, they always do the, is it alright if we temporarily delete apps? Like, yeah. I don't think this is like an insane, like, I don't think this is like a planned Apple power move.
I mean, the only reason I'm calling it an Apple power move is the only way I could see it being deleted because of a new iOS is, it hasn't been updated and it's not going to run properly on iOS 14. Oh, can it be updated? No, it can't, because Epic can't get in to update the game. So why don't we just delete that for you? You don't need to play it.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, dude, I want to view this as a fucking power move. I really do.
I'm viewing it as a power move, so you view it however you want, Soapy.
Yeah, I think it's more or less of just like, it is just a coincidence of they launch iOS 14.
Yeah.
And it asks if you want, like, if it can temporarily uninstall. Because the whole thing is, like, even if games don't get updated anymore, it'll still reinstall those games. It's just now, since Fortnite isn't on the store anymore,
it can't reinstall it.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking this is more of a coincidence more than anything.
All right.
But I mean, hey, dude,
you're taking my fun away.
Dude, if Apple did plan this, God, I fucking love Apple then. I really do hate saying that sentence, dude. Like, I felt a little bit of my soul die saying that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, what company do you hate more, Apple or Epic?
Definitely Epic, by far.
Like, see, that's the thing. Like, it's the lesser. It's the way I describe the Apple Epic debate in your head is like how some people view the political race this year, where it's like, I don't want to vote for him, but I don't want to vote for him either. But I'm gonna vote for this guy because he's not as bad as that guy. That's what I think you are. I hate Apple. But man, do I hate Apple a lot less than I hate Epic.
Yep.
The other thing we got, Soapy, is Nintendo. This is from Video Game Chronicle. Nintendo appears to have accidentally revealed a new Kirby game. Switch title Kirby Fighters 2 is listed on the platform holder's official website and includes the following description. Choose from a cast of Kirby's most iconic copy abilities, including the brand new wrestler ability, and duke it out to be the last Kirby standing. Familiar friends and foes like Bandana Waddle Deed and King Deedly also make an appearance as playable characters in the Kirby Fighters 2 game, available exclusive for the Nintendo Switch system. Soapy, what are your thoughts on this if this is true? new Kirby game. The original Kirby Fighters first appeared as a mini game in 2014 for the Nintendo 3DS title Kirby Triple Deluxe. What are your thoughts if it's true and they're making this now a full game for the Switch?
God, I fucking love Kirby, so that's the one reason this sucks I don't have a Switch. Like, literally no other Nintendo game interests me besides Kirby.
Yeah, no, Kirby's the man. Like, he's one where it's like, I wish there was... I'm trying to think on Switch. Has there been many Kirby games on the Switch?
I don't think there's been one of them yet.
Kirby Switch games. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. The only one I can find is Kirby Star Allies. Yeah, Kirby Star Allies, which came out in March of 2018, is the only Switch game. So someone else can correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, this is like, it's a win-win. If you like Kirby, you like fighter games, go ahead. Go and get it when it comes out. Of course, they didn't say if it's still up on the store or if it was taken down. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be $20 from what the screen grab said. So look for Kirby Fighters 2, which could be a new Kirby game coming to us on the Switch. And then Soapy, the last Shorty But A Goodie. Fall Guys wasn't the biggest game on Twitch in August, but it was close. This is from The Verge, and it basically says, you played Fall Guys, right? The sleeper hit of the summer that wasn't from developer Mediatonic. If you haven't, well, I suggest you give it a shot, if only because it was the second biggest game this month on Twitch and the second largest debut there this year. Let's see. Valorant's launch in April was bigger, but Fall Guys did manage to beat out Animal Crossing New Horizons for the second spot. It sold 7 million copies on Steam and was the most downloaded game ever on PlayStation Plus. Let's see. I'm trying to not read this because I want you to guess what the number one game is.
I mean, I see in the headline. I saw the headline. It has the name of the thing in there.
Of the first game? No, it doesn't.
It literally says Among Us in there.
No, it does. It says Fall Guys wasn't the biggest one on Twitch. And then and more streaming news. Oh, in the link. I wasn't looking at my link on my tablet says theverge.com. Yeah, Among Us was number one. Among Us has burned up the Twitch charts for the last month too. It is a full 650% in hours watched from last month, which is good enough to put it at 11th place of the most popular categories on Twitch, just below Minecraft. Expect that number to go up this month. Soapy, if you had to pick, you personally, which game do you like better? Which one appeases to you if you were going to watch it on Twitch? Because I know you've said before you have no interest in playing Fall Guys. Which one would you be more inclined to watch between the two, Fall Guys or Among Us?
Among Us. And that's also because it's man, when I've played Among Us, it is so fucking fun to play in a group. Mm-hmm. That like it's actually fucking mind blowing. It's like with Fall Guys, I feel like there is a niche audience, or not so much niche because it's the second biggest game on Twitch.
Yeah,
but like it has that place and it has that fan base. But dude, Among Us, when you play with friends, that fucks with friendships, dude. Like I can't trust people anymore.
So here's the thing I will say with Among Us. As Dave in Twitch chat saying, Among Us is as good as the people you play with. Watching groups like Offline TV, I think I've watched 40 plus hours of gameplay. Each game is different. Every group has a meta. So you start to recognize play styles and other players. I would love to do a Among Us. I know Sean has brought it up. I know that on mobile it's free. On computer you have to play. Or you would have to pay. I would love to play Among Us because I was watching. So Markiplier played with like Jacksepticeye and a bunch of other creators. And the thing while watching his video, I would really want to be an imposter. Like that just seemed fun to me to be able to like sabotage people and basically be like try to be sneaky. And the thing that I love that he did was he absolutely played clueless because he didn't know anything about the game going in. He was like, I'm just going to play absolutely clueless so that no one like expects me to know what I'm doing, to where when him and the other imposter, him and his other teammate who were imposters won, it was basically the other imposter did all the work because Markiplier didn't do anything because he didn't know what to do. And no one suspected him because he didn't know what to do. So he was just running around the map, not doing anything. Fall Guys to me is fun.
I hate to interrupt, but I gotta go to the bathroom like really bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll take it from here until you get back. But like Fall Guys for me is very different. Like I love watching Fall Guys. What up, Dave? Do you got your shit muted, Dave? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I'm got my shit muted.
Dave's like, Soapy's going to the bathroom, so I'm going to jump right in.
I'm going to just add myself to this conversation because I've watched a lot of Fall Guys, and I've played a lot of Fall Guys.
Have you played Fall Guys?
I haven't played. I've watched a lot of Fall Guys.
Okay.
That's what I'm not.
I see you got the PS controller in your hand.
I'm playing a little 2K right now.
Okay.
I moved the PS upstairs because I got bored, so... But yeah, no. Fall Guys is fun, but Among Us is just it's a different level, man. It's a different level.
See, but I liked playing like I haven't played Among Us yet. I've only watched it. I've played Fall Guys.
Yeah.
And Fall Guys is fun to play like with Jake and Sean. With Fall Guys though, watching it, it's all about who it is. Like I love watching Xavier Woods play Fall Guys because what he will do is he will strap a heart monitor to him. And then he has like on his stream, like you can see that it brought his heart so high to where he was at 172 heart rate just from playing Fall Guys. So like I could see the appeal in both.
But Among Us, man, it's the mental games, it's the mind fuckery,
it's the deceiving, and I love
the deceit.
And I love how people are like. There are so many times I've watched Among Us where they're like, "Oh, let's vote for this guy. Let's vote." Fuck it, I'm not gonna vote. And it's like, no, you fucked us.
No, I mean there are so many situations, and that's the thing. Like watching a lot of Among Us, like I said, each group has its own meta. So like in the offline TV, like they don't vote, kick people on 7.
Okay.
They have these certain things. It's people always are being like, name the last 2 tasks you did and shit like this, and it's like. But certain players have certain play styles, and that's what I love most. Is like someone's personality bleeds over to their play style. Like, Disguised Toast, one of my favorite Hearthstone streamers, became obviously he cashed out to streamer? Facebook. He's doing Among Us now, and he is like, I don't know if he just memes into the 200 IQ plays kind of shit, but like that seems to be his style. So he'll do like analytical breakdown, like bullshit talk to kill like 80% of the clock. And he'll just like bullshit accuse at the end. And people are like, well, fuck, I guess we got to go with that because that's all we heard.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, he'll follow people and refuse to do his own tasks. So then when he's the imposter, you're like, was he just being toast and not doing tasks? Or is he the imposter and can't do tasks?
Well, that's what...
Or is he faking tasks? And then it's like, oh man, this is a whole...
Well, that's what Markiplier did, and it worked. He's like, you know what? I suspect Tyler. I'm going to follow Tyler. And he just followed Tyler. And he just stuck with Tyler. And then when someone got killed and the body was reported, they're like, all right, who was it? And Tyler would be like, well, it ain't Mark. Mark followed me the whole time. And it was like he was an imposter. He was just following someone.
Dude, that's the thing. Like there are so many different ways to play, and I like the fact that they've got a couple different maps. Among Us 2 has been in development. We're going to be looking at that in 2021. Yeah. So like they obviously have heard the fandom, and like it's the perfect storm for a game like Among Us. Like Fall Guys capitalized on what everybody was looking for. Hey, I want a game that's fun that anyone can pick up within 10 minutes. They know what they're doing. Like it's not a difficult gameplay. It's just the frustration, that's the thing. With Among Us, like I feel like it's mind games on mind games on mind games, and like it's so much.
I can see friendships being ruined.
100%. I've seen so many people scream at each other like, I didn't fucking do it. I didn't go in the door. I didn't take the trap. all this shit, and it's like just like screaming they're on it, like that they didn't do it, and then you'll find out like at the end it's like they were the imposter the entire time, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, it is
the best one, because like I said, I watched the Markiplier one. Was he didn't know how to use vents.
Dude, venting is
He was in the vents and he's like, "I'm gonna come up here," but it was Jacksepticeye was just passing by. And immediately called the meeting. It was like, I think Mark vented in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally dumb shit like that. Like, did you just see him vent?
And
like, how the fuck? Like,
and Mark tried to play. I don't even know what venting is. He goes, I don't even know what I did. And he goes, really, I don't know what I did.
Exactly. So like, I love the gameplay. I think I will enjoy playing Among Us a lot. I would love to get a group for MVP going. Maybe we start out with a game, and a post watch along or something. Maybe we'll make a game night in our Discord.
Yep.
But like, it seems like something that it's going to cause a lot of hatred. I'm going to try not to ban anyone from Discord. But
Dave's also going to swear at people. Fuck you, Ricky! I didn't do it.
Like the thing is, like, I can't play the camera on. And like you would have to put like stream delay on if you wanted to live stream this.
Yeah.
Because like I guarantee you, I could tell like when you
would be able to
stream stream
snipe.
sniping is one thing, absolutely. And I'm opposed to that, and I think there's a rule there where like
if we played Among Us, I would not live stream it. I would pre-record it, so only I could see what I was doing.
Okay, I was gonna say like if I could see your face, there's no way I would know, or there's no way I wouldn't know if you were lying to me.
Yeah.
Like you did the same thing with me. Like we know each other too, and the facial expressions, like even like a tiny hint of a smirk, and I'm like, oh fuck, I did it.
Dave, the little quarters start going up, and it's like I know. Or Dave gets a little twinkle in the eye because he loves when he's being deceitful sometimes.
I mean, there is some So Soaps, are you down for some Among Us play? Come and
Hell
see
yeah.
MVP? All right. We'll get organized. I don't know how it is on the phone app.
Yeah,
I've not seen any gameplay from that side, but look,
it's pretty easy.
Okay, cool.
Have you done it on your phone?
Yep.
Okay.
Wonderful. So yeah,
I'm stingy as fuck, dude.
I got no problem.
I'm stingy as fuck, dude. You give me the option of free or pay money, I'm doing free.
No problems. I'm gonna toss the show back to you guys. Thanks for letting me crash. Hope you had a good pee.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much Among Us was the last thing. So unless you've got something that you didn't add while you were taking a piss, Soapy, I'll let you get your final thoughts before we wrap up the show.
Yeah, I can't wait till we all play it, because there's an absolute power move I do that no one's ever ready for. So,
imposter power move or non-imposter power move?
Just in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't wait to play. I'm not good at being deceitful, but like watching people play as I think it's because the Markiplier video I watched, he was the imposter. And it's like I loved it to where it's like, ooh, I want to try that. I want to try being the imposter. But that's going to do it for MVP Games Live today. Thank you guys for checking out the show. The housekeeping here at the end, if you missed it at the beginning, Discord down below in the description if you're on YouTube, / Discord if you want to go and hit that. It's a great time, great place. Choo-choo, they're getting on the MVP Games Live train, the bandwagon, Soapy, runaway train. It's going down the tracks right now. But yeah, it's a great conversation, great group of people that we have in that Discord. You should go ahead and join it and be a part of the Discord group today. Patreon.com / MVP vids is one of the ways you can help support us. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum. That bronze level, just $1 gets you into voice channels. Maybe you can play Among Us with us if you want to. Join the Discord, become a bronze patron, $1 a month. Not that bad if you ask me. You can also go ahead and sub to us on Twitch if you want to support us as well. Hey, maybe you got Prime Gaming sitting around. Amazon just gives it to you. No money off of you, but we get some money and you get to support us. Also, thank you to our Patreon sponsors, Pat Hill and Philly Sean. Last but not least, we are on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv / MVP vids. But we're also on YouTube, MVP Entertainment as well. Like, follow, subscribe at both places so you keep track with us on the daily. that's going to do it for us here on Games Live. Soapy and I will be back. 2 more shows this week. We'll be back tomorrow for more gaming news on Thursday. But if you're on Twitch right now, Sports Live coming up next with Dave and myself. Soapy and I will see you tomorrow. As always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.